More Sports and Les-Levine continues from Presque Isles Downs and Casinos grand opening of their Bet America Sportsbook. And we are pleased to be joined by former Brown great Hanford Dixon, part of this grand opening celebration. Hanford, tell me a little bit about being involved in this, how excited you are.
You know what, I'm real excited. Anytime I get a chance to come down to the casino here at Erie, I'm just delighted, and especially for the grand opening of their Bet America Sportsbook. So as you can see, it's all back there behind us, so just happy to be here.
Now, you are a guy that played with a Browns team that was pretty confident. And I know you've been around this year's Browns team, and, and some people are saying they may be a little overconfident. In your mind, isn't the confidence part of the reason you become a good team?
Well, yeah, but I understand what they're saying. I mean, obviously, anybody know me and they know my background and the guys I play with, my other counterpart, Frank Minifield. We are always very, very cocky and confident guys. But, you know, I just hope the guys right now, because we really haven't done anything, and I hope the guys right now, they'll stop reading the papers and all that kind of stuff. It's time to play football. And it all starts tonight with our first preseason game against the Washington Redskins, and hopefully we can put this thing together and get it going.
Now, tell me a little bit about what you've observed from this team and some of the strengths.
Well, I think we're going to be very, very strong offensively. When you look at some of the players we have on offense, especially at the wide receiver position and also at the running back position, and obviously our quarterback, it all starts with Baker-Mayfield. When you look at this guy, I tell you what, he's just he's a phenomenal leader, a great arm, obviously not very tall, but that has not been a problem for him. I think one of the problems, a part of that offensive line, there's a little worry there, but I think we're also strong on the defensive line, and it all starts with Myles-Garrett. I mean, you're talking about a guy that right now they're experimenting, they're moving him all over the place on that defensive line, and he has been in the backfield pretty much throughout the whole practice. But this team has the potential to really do something special, but again, it starts tonight, and you have to start doing it on the field and not in practice.
Hey, have you liked the message that Freddie Kitchens has been sending, which is exactly that?
I really do. You know, I like Freddie. He's a guy from down south, obviously me being from down south Alabama, but he's got the guys practicing the way we used to practice. Those guys are in full pass pretty much every day, and they know when they come on the field, they come to work. And that's what I like about it. It's not he's a player's coach, but he's not a player coach. He's making the guys work, he's making them tough, and he's making them accountable. So I like him, and I like the direction he's taking this football team.
You mentioned the defensive line. A little bit of a different scheme with Steve-Wilks. Do you see some of the subtleties of that in what you've observed? I know you've been out there at training camp some.
Yeah, Coach Wilks, I mean, obviously we know his background. Obviously we know he's a great coach. He's a great defensive coach, and he's a tough coach. And we have some guys, Sheldon-Richardson. I mean, we're just loaded, and we're not only loaded on the defensive line, we're loaded also in the secondary and our linebackers. So we have a football team that on paper, potentially be pretty strong. But again, you can't just use it on paper. You have to go out and you have to play.
You mentioned Baker-Mayfield as a guy that played in the league for a number of years. Would he be the type of guy you'd want to play for and with?
Yeah, but, you know, I played with a guy that was Bernie-Kosar.
Yeah? And
they don't come any better than Bernie-Kosar. And but I think, you know, Baker, he hasn't done it yet. He's got the potential to do it, so it all starts this year. It's going to be interesting, though, because you're going to have teams right now, defensive, have had a chance to catch up with our offense. So it's going to be interesting to see how they defense against him now that they know what he could do.
Now, we were talking before we did this interview. You're a little bit of a Tribe fan. Pretty big series starting out for the Indians, too.
Hey, big dog. I've been a Tribe fan forever. I remember when they used to play in the Old Municipal Stadium, and I used to go sit down there when there weren't many people in there. But we just won a big series against Texas. Won a doubleheader yesterday. But I just want you to know, it all starts tonight against those Minnesota Twins in Minnesota. Because I think right now, what are we, 2 games out?
2 out.
Go Tribe.
There you have it, Les. Hanford Dixon, the top dog,
yes,
saying go Tribe.
I'll tell you what, I didn't know Hanford was a big Tribe fan. Never knew that. Huh. You learn something new every day. And he's old school. if he was back at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, which of course is where he played his football. 2